Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, we will talk about BTC. We will talk about BTC on a macro scale, and we're also going to talk about BTC on a low degree and what type of price action we could anticipate over the next like a few days and so on. Right? As you know, the 7-day cycle going to close like in 2 days, right? On Thursday. So it is going to be quite important, right, to close above like a 60K and all that good stuff. So we will discuss all of that good stuff, right? So first thing first, guys, if you're new to our content now, don't forget to hit the likes, right? Subscribe to the channel, join the public Telegram group, link in the description, right, and all that good stuff, right? So hit the likes, hit the subs, right, and join the public Telegram group, or you can also join the Discord group and all that good stuff. So now let's go ahead and dive into the great stuff, right? Let's go ahead and dive into the low degree time frame before we talk about the 7-day cycle and all that, right? So on the low degree, guys, what we said on a 6-hour basis, our basically, yeah, let's do this. Okay, what we said was like our 6-hour 21 EMA going to be our best friend, right? Right here. This guy doesn't want to give me a 6-hour time frame. Something is not working right. Okay, so right here now it wants to show me the 6-hour. So what we said regarding the 6-hour time frame during a very strong uptrend was like it is going to be our best friend. Okay, whenever we dip down to the 6-hour 21 EMA, what we're gonna expect is like a push back up. As you can see, when BTC was like a 58, right there, just about like a 58, 1, something like that, right there last week. What we said was like, if we dip down to the 6-hour 21 EMA, just about like a 54, 55 range, we're going to get a strong pullback. Yes, we did have a negative divergence, so bears were calling for what? A bearishness. Yes, I saw it, right? But since like the 3D time frame was still bullish, right? The weekly time frame was still bullish. I did not want to give any credibility to the 6-hour time frame bearishness, right? The only thing we could do is like to buy the dip whenever the high time frame is bullish, even though we can get some short-term bearishness on the 6-hour, but those short-term bearishness only going to be, a buying opportunity, not a bearish reversal. Okay, so sometimes you got to understand a bearish reversal and a bearish pullback for more add-on and all that good stuff, right? So as you can see right here, once again, we're getting what? Another bullish crossover right there on our 6-hour basis. So let me take a look at the chat room really quickly, guys, to see if you guys can hear. Hey, what's up, Craig? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Ruan in the house. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot for tuning in, Ruan. Buzz in the house. Getting a lot of buzz today, man. MF in the house. Thanks a lot, MF Moonboy. Tonight all-time high, says Raul Buzz. Okay, so what are we saying right now on the 6-hour basis, guys? I told you about the 6-hour basis so many times, right? Bullish crossover after a period of consolidation. What you're gonna expect is like you got to expect a push to the upside. Consolidation right here, bearish divergence, bullish crossover right here. What you got? Bang. Okay, another consolidation, right? We still got a bearish divergence, but once again, as I said, right, if we take a look at it on a 3D basis, we just got a fresh 3D candle. Fresh, okay? It means like we got another 48 hours to get the job done. Okay, so I do not want to rely, right, on a bearish 6-hour divergence, right? If we take a look at it right here, if we go back in 2020, when we were extremely bullish and bears were calling for like a, every divergence, right? Bears were saying, oh, we're gonna dump, right? Right here. Let's take a look at it right here, guys. A very good example, right? Right there. Bearish divergence, right? Right there. What happened? Broke out to the upside. Right there. right? Bearish divergence. That's the same bearish divergence we're actually making right now, right there, right here. Okay, that's the same exact bearish divergence we are creating right now, right? If I show you, let's go back to the 6-hour time frame so you can see it again. Right here, there, right there. So we got a very strong bearish divergence, right? But we can still push to the upside, okay? If we dip lower, we got our 6-hour 21 EMA. If we dip lower after that, we still got our 50 EMA right here, just about like a 50, 58. I don't think we got any chance right now to retest the 6-hour 100 EMA. So it is not even like a, it is not even like something we should even think about, like retesting the 6-hour 100 EMA as of now, okay? So if we go back to 2020, we go back to 2020, you can see right here, we created another bearish divergence on our 6-hour right there, okay? And if you were in our premium, you remember what we said was like, just buy the dip at the 6-hour 21 EMA. If you don't want to buy the dip at the 6-hour 21 EMA, buy the dip at the 8-hour 21 EMA, okay? And we got another one right here. And we finally got that big dump to the downside right here. And exactly that's what we said. Buy at the 6-hour 100 EMA or the 8-hour 100 EMA. On average, if you buy at the 6-hour 100 EMA, you're going to be okay, right? Right here, we retested the 6-hour 100 EMA and basically bang, okay? So we just got our first bearish divergence, all right? We're going to get multiple bearish divergences, right, along the way to, 100K, $1 million, whatever, right? We're going to get multiple bearish divergences, right? So we can just be bearish whenever we get a dump, all right? So the trend, it is still strong. The trend, it is still strong, right? So now let's take a look at the 7-day cycle. So when we take a look at the 7-day cycle right here, guys, I told you something very important, right? As soon as we got this breakout right here, what we said, our defensive line, bang. Okay, we say that's our defensive line. We broke out above resistance because bears don't check the high time frame. Okay, bears only trade probably like up to the daily. Okay, most bears, not all of them, right? So if they're not paying attention to the 7-day cycle, closing above resistance right here, like a 48.5, right? They're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna get rejected at 55. We're gonna get rejected at 56, 58, 64, 65, 58, and so on and so forth, right? You get the point, right? So the 7-day cycle looks pretty great. Okay, it looks great as of now. Okay, the only thing we need is like to close above all-time high on closing basis. Okay, we don't have to close above like 65. Okay, we just have to stay within the next like a 48 hours. Just stay above like a 63.3 on the 7-day cycle, right? It is going to close on Thursday right here. So within the next 48 hours, if we can stay above like a 63.3, that's going to be a plus. It doesn't have to. It can still dip down to like a low 60s and all that good stuff. The trend, it is still going to be strong because we talked about the 6-hour time frame and all that good stuff, right? So something to keep in mind. If we take a look at the weekly MACD, it is not showing us any bearishness right here. Okay, everything looks good. So BTC is looking very, very bullish as of now on the macro view, right? Can we get some pullbacks? Yes. We can't go all the way up to like 100K without getting like some short-term pullbacks. It could be even like up to 18% pullback at some point down the road. So we just have to be ready for those pullbacks, but it is not time to talk about it, right? So now let's take a look at BTC on a 3D basis. We already talked about the 3D basis, like we got like a 48 hours to close the 3D time frame, so it looks pretty juicy. If we take a look at the 2D basis, on the midterm, right? Let's say within the next like a few weeks and so on, our 2D time frame, right? We're going to rely on it. Okay, we're going to rely on it. Once we start like violating the 3D 21, right? I mean 3D 21 EMA, right? And start like struggling to break out above it and all that good stuff, we're just going to pack our bags. Okay, we're going to pack our bags and be looking for a retest of some supports and all that good stuff. But as of now, on a 2D basis, what we said was pretty clear. If we get this guy to cross bullish, that is it. Okay, it is going to be a strong trend. So if you've been following Send Crypto long enough, after we got the breakout right here, what I said, just be patient, right? Don't rush the market. Be patient, okay? We got the 3D breakout right here, right? Everything was looking pretty juicy. But what we said was like, just be cautious, right? Be ready, okay? Once we get the MACD to cross positive, that's the only thing we will need to get our confirmation of a trend reversal, right? So MACD crossed bullish right there. We said, guys, it is time to say goodbye to your friends and family, right? Because we're going to the moon, right? So we're still on track to break out above all-time high, right? As long as we're positive on our 2D time frame, guys, I'm still going to be bullish. The only way I could start to be bearish is like if we break out right below our 21 EMA, right? Dump right here, push back up, create a lower high, right? And dump down, and all our moving averages, right? Cross negative and all that good stuff, right? Then I'm going to be like, okay, it's time to get out. That could be lower. It could be anywhere around like a 57, 55 by then, right? But I don't think it is going to play out like that, but who knows, okay? So we will just stay with the trend instead of try to, call the top and all that good stuff. All right. So let me know, guys. If you're bullish on BTC or if you're bearish, right? So now let's take a look at BTC on the macro view, right? On the macro view, if we take a look at it from like a penny, right? Back in 2010, we talked about it during our last live stream, right? What we're saying is like, if we just want to follow our Fibonacci's, right? Our first Fibonacci extension to the upside, right? After the first wave started from, from 1 cent right here, all the way up to $31 and another dump down to like a $2. That wave, if we just want to follow that wave, right? And we don't want to make our, let's say we don't want to make our analysis too complicated, because most people are looking for the same thing, okay? When we analyze a chart, okay? Most people are looking for the same thing. How high BTC will go. That's the only thing we're all looking for. How high can it go? Okay, some people are going to call 150. Some people are going to call like, 140. Some calling 300K and all that good stuff. But you just want to know how high it can go, right? So if you just want to rely on the first wave right here, according to our Fibonacci's, right? We've been basically respecting 0.618 right there. We respected 0.786 on the macro scale. Even one-to-one extension to the upside, we respected it because that's where we consolidated like for nearly a year before we started the next bull trend and all that good stuff. As you can see right now, right, our resistance area, it is like a 1.27 extension, okay, give or take, right? 54 to 65K area. So our next extension to the upside, it is going to be all the way up to a 1.41. Right? I don't think we're gonna get to 1.41 in like a single candle, right? So because as you can see right here, it takes like multiple candles, right, to test the next fib level to the upside, right? Right here you can see like it took over a year. Right here you can see like it took over a year. Right here, it is taking like over 2 years nearly, right, to test the next fib level. So the next fib extension to pay attention to, if you just want to trade the extension to the upside based on the first wave right here, based on the first wave, right? 1 cent, right there, 32 cents and down to $2. Your next fib extension going to be all the way up to like 180, okay, 180, and we already got target like between 130, 140, 150 and so on, right? So which is going to be pretty close. If we get 180, great. If we don't, we might just have to wait longer, because we know the directional move for BTC on the macro scale, it is up. Okay, it is up. We talked about it previously. We said, guys, it doesn't matter if you're a bear or if you're a bull, right? But if you stay with BTC on the macro scale, right, especially on a yearly basis, right? You don't have any business being a bear. If you're a macro trader, you do not have any business, right, being bearish on BTC. Okay, as you can see right here, over the last 10 years, guys, 11 years, okay, we only got 2 bearish candles. One was back in 2014 right here, and the second one was back in 2018. Okay, so 4 years cycle. Okay, so we could get another bearish yearly cycle, but I don't think like we will retest like the last year lows. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So it doesn't, how can I explain it? The easiest way to explain it is like, even if we pump all the way up to like 80K, I don't see us retesting like or breaking below like a 30K within the next like a few years. Because as you can see right here, no single candle violated the previous yearly low unless like it is a bearish candle. And we only got one occasion where we basically violated the previous yearly low right here. That was back in 2014 and 2015. And guess what? That year even like closed green. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So we could pump a lot and bear is going to show up, right? But if we retest anywhere around like a 30K again, you got a good deal. Okay, based on the macro scale. Okay, based on the macro scale. So we got a lot of work to do on the upside. Right? And we got plenty of time to be bearish once the bear market kicks in. All right, it is not time to be extremely bearish, right? Bitcoin crash or Bitcoin cash? Bitcoin cash is the next big thing. All right, we will see. Okay, it could be XRP too, right? BTC ain't going to 100K. I mean, that's possible. Okay, we don't have to go to 100K right now, but we got all the time, right? We need to go to 100K. Okay, we don't have to hit 100K once again right now. We can still consolidate between like, let's say 50K to 60K, right, within the next like a few months, and break out later on. But the directional move, that's the most important. Right? We might not go to 100K in October, November, or not even December, right? But as long as the trend is up, we don't have to be fighting above 100K. Bear's been saying it right here. We're not going to break out above 10K, right? We're not going to break out above 10K. Now they're saying we're not going to hit 100K. And once we hit like a 300K, they're going to be like, oh, we're not going to hit 500K. And once we hit $900,000, they're going to be like, oh, we're not going to hit $1 million. So stay bullish, man. That's the safest thing to do right now. Make sure to hit the likes, guys. Make sure to hit the likes. That's the safest thing to do right now. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and basically check the chat room. If you guys got any alt you want me to take a look at, let me know, right? And we're going to take a look at alt. So let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on the hourly basis now. So on the hourly, we're looking pretty good on the hourly. MACD, it is still positive right here. You could call it a bearish divergence, right? But the hourly moves pretty fast, right? It moves very fast. So you could call this a potential bearish divergence, but we still got our hourly 100 EMA right here. Okay. As a potential support if we retest like a 61.4, 61.5, right, in the short term, right? Hey, what's up, Nibra? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Let's go ahead and take a look at one BTC. So one BTC consolidating. Let's take a look at it on the 3D. So one BTC, we basically starting to create a bearish divergence, right? BTC is pretty strong, so one BTC is going to be slightly bearish within the next like a few days and so on, right? So we're still above the 3D 21, so it is still bullish, right? MACD hasn't crossed bearish yet, so we're still looking pretty good, right? We just don't want to break out below like a 300 sats. If we do, we might be retesting support right here. But overall, I don't see I don't see a crazy reversal pattern yet, beside the double top right here with a bearish divergence right there. So you could hold some BTC in the short term, and if we dip lower down to support while BTC breaking out to the upside, or even if BTC breaks out to the downside, one is likely to follow BTC at some point, right? So it looks pretty good so far. Okay, as long as we stay above the 21 EMA, we're still looking good. Okay, we just don't want to break out below the 3D21. So now let's take a look at ADA BTC. So ADA BTC definitely breaking down. So we're already now below the 21 EMA officially. Our 100 EMA going to be somewhere around like a 2,500. Okay, and 0.618 going to be at 2,000 sats. Right. We got the bearish divergence right here. We don't want to break out right here, otherwise we most likely going to be consolidating, especially if BTC breaks out above 65, 68. ADA could take a hit. Okay, ADA BTC. ADA USD might not do anything, it might just be moving sideways, right? However, it means, okay, if ADA, right, BTC drops like 40%, right, down to 0.618, and ADA USD staying at $2, it means like BTC will be breaking out 40% or even higher. That's why I'm saying like BTC is extremely bullish, because most of these alt, they're not that bearish in USD. Okay, they're not that bearish. Some of them slightly bullish, some of them retesting like a supports and all that good stuff. So they just waiting for like a BTC to take care of business, get the job done, and all those suckers going to be pumping, right? So something to keep in mind. Don't be too bearish on alt. Still keep some alt on the sideline, right? And let them do the work, okay? They will get the job done. Okay, we talked about it last October, November, December, right? Took 3 months for alt to basically consolidate. January, what happened? Bang, okay? February, March, April, until May, right? We were pumping to the upside, okay? But the real pump really started like late January, okay? Only the big cap alt like BNB, Ethereum, right? ADA broke out, okay? The first week of January, and late January, the mid cap to lower cap alt started to pump. So it is very important to understand, how these alt will be pumping. We don't know how they're going to pump, but you just have to understand just have to understand what's going on, right? So you can be prepared, right? And not FOMO on everything that pump. But most of them will pump, right? So if you FOMO on like, let's say, when ADA started pumping the first week of January, right here, right at the bottom, you didn't FOMO, okay? You didn't buy it at the bottom when it was like 600 sats, and you started buying right here. Remember, our target was like 5,000, and you started buying at 5,000, and sucker dump, right? Man, you started buying at 5,000, sucker dump. It pumped again, you started buying it dumped down. So you're gonna be like, what's going on, right? So you don't want to FOMO. You always want to buy when these suckers are dumping, not like when they're going up. Okay, I said it multiple times. In our premium ADA, we said suck it up right here. Suck it up, guys, right there. Especially versus the dollar. We were actually trading ADA USD, but after we basically switched back to ADA, ADA BTC, and said, let's just hold it, because ADA BTC is extremely strong. Okay. So now let's go ahead and move on to Ruan, AMB, Aeon. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at AMB BTC. So AMB, take a look at it right here. Take a look at it on a 3D basis. It is still trading around like 60 sats. It is at the bottom, right? It is at the very bottom. Our yearly low just about like a 36, right? Back in the first week of January. So if BTC breaks out, it could try to retest the the 40 to a 36, right? It could try to retest the 40 to 36 range, give or take, right? So we need to break out above our 21 EMA, and once we get our breakout above the 21 EMA, you guys know what's the deal. That's what we're waiting for. Most of these alt, they still below the 3D 21, so no breakout. We know that, okay? We know that exactly. That's how we played it right here back in May 2020, June 2020, guys. Remember alt season. Okay, we pumped all the way to August, right? January right here, February. You guys remember also, when I was saying like some of these alt will be pumping, okay? FET, I talk about it and all that good stuff, CELR, and all of them, they pump, okay? Some of these alt did not pump massively, okay? They pump like, let's say 5x in BTC. This guy got a 6x in BTC, but you have to basically buy it at the bottom. If you don't buy it at the bottom, you're not going to get that 6x, okay? If you want to buy, when it's pumping, you might get wrecked, okay? You might get wrecked. So you got to be buying on the dips, okay? Right now, it is a good level to start like accumulating. And once we break out above the 3D 21, you're going to be like, bang, okay? We could get that move all the way up to like a 500 sats, okay? So it looks pretty good. Still making some, lower highs. I know it is bearish, but all season, you got to be buying at the bottom, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at XTZ. XTZ, it is at the 3D21 on the daily. I mean 3D21 on the 3D21 versus USD. 3D21 on the daily. So Tezos. So if we take a look at Tezos, I like the volume profile, right? Versus the dollar right here. Volume decreasing, prices decreasing. It is always a bullish sign, right? We back down to the we retested the 3D21, looking pretty good. We didn't quite test it, right? Retested it, but good enough. Okay, if you want to use your 2D, it looks pretty great. Okay, it looks great right here, right? We got a negative MACD, but we can flip positive at any given time, right? So yeah, it looks like a fat wave also, right? So if we get any dips, just rely on 50% pullback. Going to be like a 4.4. Okay? If we fail to control the 2D21 or even the 3D21, we could dump down to the 50% pullback, which is going to be a second chance for the bulls to reaccumulate right here, right? Just in case, right? I'm not saying it will, but if it does, great opportunity to reaccumulate if you miss to reaccumulate right here. But overall, I would just suck it up, right? We just suck it up and wait for the breakout. Okay, wait for the weekly breakout right here. Okay. Especially 7 days, right? 7 days did not quite close above the all-time high right there, right? So you can see like how the 7-day cycle is so important, right? It is respecting resistance, above like just about like a 7.6. That's where we need to close at, okay? We need to close above 7.6. Actually, we did, but wasn't clean enough. Right here was also, 757. Okay, that was very close, right? So, but let's say 7.8 or like $8. We can close above $8 on the 7-day cycle. It'll be great, right? We gotta close above 7.6 on the regular candle, but as I said, the 7-day cycle, it is more important to me. Okay, so let's try to get a close above $8 within the next like a few weeks. So let's go ahead and take a look at Aeon. Aeon, I think it is around like a 250. let's take a look at it. I like 270 right now. So Aeon, it is looking weak, just like every other alt, right? It is coming back down to support. So it is likely to retest the 200 sats support right here, which is going to be our yearly low, right? So once we retest our 200 sats, we could basically start to celebrate, right? So let's take a look at it on the 3D. It doesn't have to, but be ready for it. I don't know if you guys remember, but Aeon, guys, when I talk about Aeon back in first week of, late January, first week of February, Aeon was like 200 sats, okay, and sucker pump all the way up to like a nearly 1200 sats. So 5x, right? 5x, 6x right here, okay, beautiful pump. So it is just coming back down to support like every other alt, right? Most of these alt are retesting their January low, and the next pump, they're most likely going to be breaking out above their 2021 highs right there. Some of them, most of them, I would say most of them, right? So let's see what we're going to get once we retest the yearly low right there, okay? As you can see right here, back in 2020, right, consolidated pump, right here, dump, retest the the August lows right there, and then pump beautifully to the upside, okay, right here. Nice pump, 200% pump in BTC. I don't think Aeon can reach all-time high in BTC at any given time, just to be honest with you, right? I don't think we can hit like all-time high at any given time, right? Even XRP is not yet, right, at all-time high versus BTC. So not even like a Ethereum, okay? Ethereum still below all-time high. So I can't expect like any other alt, right, to retest their all-time high at any given time, right? They could potentially, within the next like a few years. And if BTC hits like $1 million, it means like they will never retest their all-time high, okay? Because they're going to be extremely overvalued, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, whenever these alt pump in BTC, you have to take profits into BTC, okay? And they will always pump. They will pump. They will pump. You just have to be ready, be patient, reaccumulate the bottom, and buy the dips, buy the pens, and all that good stuff, and just wait. Okay, we've seen it multiple times since like 2017. We've seen it. Okay, we've seen it. Even ADA right now, it is so overextended. But if we go back, if you go back to 2017, if you bought ADA back then, October 2017, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You bought ADA back in October 2017. Actually XLM, okay, XLM and ADA, both of them, they kind of dump, right? Let's go back to XLM. XLM was more apparent because I remember the XLM dump. Yeah, if you bought XLM back then, right here, I remember buying XLM back in August 2017, and it was dumping in BTC, and at the same time it was dumping in USD. So as you can see right here, it dumped like 70%, right, before pumping massively to the upside right here, over 30x after that. So sometimes you just have to be patient. Whenever we close to the bottom, you want to be reaccumulating, okay? And we already talked about XLM on a macro view, and how it is so important right now to accumulate somewhere around like 600 sats, 700 sats. Could it dump down to like a 400? Yes, it could, but you just have to be patient and reaccumulate the dip. Not financial advice, right? And look for the breakout to the upside, okay? You can't be holding it. Once we break out like 10x in BTC, 20x in BTC, you can't be like try to hold it to, to wait for like a $1 million and all that good stuff, right? You got to go back into BTC because you can always buy them back. Whenever you go back into BTC, you're not missing out anything because these alt, they will dump in BTC. They will dump. That's just guaranteed. Okay? Okay, that's guaranteed. They will. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to dump right now. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying that whenever they pump, they will pull back. Okay? They won't go like to infinity against BTC. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at we talk about 88 BTC Monero. Let's go ahead and take a look at Monero. Monero is dipping. So Monero is dipping, right? Not looking good at all. So versus BTC, we're getting a breakout. However, we can just focus on the downtrend. As you can see right here, we're creating a bull divergence on a weekly basis. So even though we're dipping, I know it doesn't look good, but we sometimes have to focus on the positive things, right? We got a nice bull divergence right here. So if we retest support, which is just about like the yearly low, somewhere around like, 0.0034, right? We could start to speculate about a potential reversal. Okay. On a macro view, we just sitting tight at 0.618 versus BTC. So if we don't break it, we got a pretty good chance to break out. However, if we break it, that might be ugly. Okay, it could be ugly because 0.786 going to be somewhere around like 0.002. Okay. Okay. So just about like a 200,000 sats, right? So yeah, a 40%, 50% dump in BTC. I'm not saying it will, but if you see it at 200,000 sats, right? You got a good deal. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it is not doing. It is not performing well versus BTC. Since like February 2018. So it is very important, guys, to pay attention to the BTC charts because you might be holding an alt and you might be thinking like, it is going to go to the moon. But if it is not bullish versus BTC, right, it is likely not to pump. Okay, it is likely not to pump. And I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying, once again, I'm not trying to create any FUD or, trying to make you sell your Monero and all that good stuff. But, over the next like a few years, this guy could be coming back down all the way down to like 100,000 sats if we do not break out to the upside. Okay, if we do not break out to the upside, even a retest of 0.786 right here, just about like a 200,000 sats, it doesn't mean we will be reversing. It could mean like we could consolidate right here again, just like what happened right here at 0.618. As you can see, we got a consolidation at 80% pullback, 0.618 pullback. We could get another consolidation right here also, okay, and push back up. But let's see. Let's just focus right now on our positive MACD to see if we can, find support right now over the next like a few weeks. Hey, what's Pablo? Pablo, what do you mean audio? Oh, audio. Okay. I thought you meant sound. Okay. PRQ. Let's take a look at PRQ. PRQ. I can't find it versus BTC. So let's do this. Yeah. Doesn't look good at all. PRQ. Versus BTC action, right? So we're getting back above the 3D21. Doesn't have too much history, right? It's not a wedge. So that could potentially be our wave 1, and that's our wave 2, right? The wave we got right here, looks pretty aggressive with a lot of volume. So we could be looking for wave 3 to the upside, right? Could be looking for wave 3 to the upside. So right now support going to be just about like a 48 to a 50 cents. That's your support right here. Okay. And if we are assuming that's our wave 1, just to be precise, right? We could be looking for 1.618 extension, right? Or even like, let's just say 1.27, just to be moderate, right? But since like we did not retest the bottom, it is hard to code for 1.618. So we'll just look for like a 287 on a macro view, okay? 287. All right, so thanks a lot, Michael. Make sure to join the public Telegram group. Sound is good. So audio, let's go ahead and take a look at audio. For some reason, I don't check audio that often. But this audio got sound, man. That sucker pumped a lot. So audio looks pretty good on a 2D basis. This move right here could be just a bull flag. So just have to wait over the next like a few weeks to see if we can create a reversal pattern. MACD right here, it is still facing down. No sort of bearishness on the 2D basis for some reason. It is just, they both creating lower highs right there, right? Right there. Okay. So no bearishness. Once we flip positive right here on our 2D basis, bang. Okay. That could be anywhere around here too. We just don't know, right? Or we could use our Fibonacci, bang. Okay, we at 382. 50% pullback could be somewhere around like a 153 if we get that low, okay? Which is also our nearly at our 100 EMA on the 2D basis. Let's double check the 3D. Yeah, 3D at 147, 148. So you got plenty of time to reaccumulate because MACD it is still negative, right? Once we flip positive right here, the 3D looks pretty good in terms of like a, wedge pattern and negative MACD. It means that if we flip positive, the worst case scenario could be like a double top if we're going to get an alt season, right? We're going to get an alt season. Yeah, this guy pumped a lot. Yeah, pumped a lot. Right here, pumped a lot also, right? Some of these alt, they pump like 5x after the July lows. Some of these alt also, right? They still like 50% above the July low or like a 40%. So it tells you a lot. It tells you like some of these alt will pump a lot, okay? Especially those alt just above like, the July lows or retesting the July lows and all that good stuff. It means like you just have to suck it up and wait. So now let's move on to the BTC dominance, right? So the BTC dominance, guys, I don't know why this guy is tripping. Do this. So the BTC dominance, guys, it is breaking out. Okay, so you guys know what I said regarding the BTC dominance. So if you're new to our content, one thing you got to do is like you gotta subscribe so you can get these macro warnings, right? I give you guys a warning. Okay, I said clearly, guys, the BTC dominance, it is double bottoming. It is time to keep some BTCs, regardless of what the BTC price will do. You got to keep some BTC. Okay, meaning like selling some alt into BTC and holding some BTC. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes you just don't know, right? The BTC dominance, right, could be pumping to the upside, right? And the BTC price action could also dump to the downside, right? But if BTC dumps 10%, alt will dump 30-40%. I'm just exaggerating, but you get the concept, right? Alt will dump harder. That's what I meant, right? So I was saying, like, it is September. We know October will be a good month, right? Especially like mid-October, early October, mid-October, and all that good stuff. Let September go away. We will pump, okay? But you got to keep some BTC. I said it, guys. Multiple live stream. I made sure I was repeating it. BTC dominant. The BTC dominance will pump. The BTC dominance will pump. So you guys can get it, right? And be prepared, right? Even if you're not prepared, you will be mentally prepared, knowing like the BTC dominance will pump, alt will take a step back. So now what we're looking at right now is like what I was speculating is like we could get a heavy alt reaction, guys. I know most of you guys alt upped already, meaning like most of you guys 80% heavy on alt and like 10% BTC or like a 15% BTC. So the BTC pump, most of you guys not pretty happy about it because alt not pumping, right? But we got a good news, okay? We speculate about the retest of the 39.5 right here, and we're speculating right now about the retest of 48 to 50%. And once we hit 48 to 50% pullback, we could see some heavy price action. I know I've seen some bulls, right? Some BTC dominance bulls, they calling for 60% pullback. That's possible, but sometimes you just gotta be careful about what you wish for, right? What I mean is like, yes, you could expect the BTC dominance to go up to like 60%, right? However, you got to also wish the BTC price action keeps on pumping. Otherwise, the BTC dominance can still go up to 60%, right? Right? It can still go up to 60%. However, if BTC USD doesn't pump, right? It means like BTC will pump, BTC will dump a lot and alt will dump harder. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's possible, but we just got to be cautious because it doesn't mean necessarily BTC will keep on pumping. Do you see what I'm saying? But if you just care about the BTC dominance and you don't care about alt, bang, you don't worry about like what the BTC USD will do. Okay, you just be like, okay, the BTC dominance is going up, I'm going to be able to buy more alt regardless of what the BTC USD will be doing. Okay, how BTC USD will perform. You see what I'm saying? So just be cautious, right? It can still go there, but we gotta wish bulls can keep up the momentum, right? And the only way we can go all the way up to 60% is like, BTC pumps like above like 100K, 130%. And alt will dump like probably like 20% versus BTC or like a 40% versus BTC, right? Stuff like that, right? So something to keep in mind. Let's just try to see first, right? To see first if we can break out above 50%. Okay? Right. I'm speculating right now, alt will react at 50% pullback. Alt will react, but we just don't know what type of reaction. So we will just wait for a couple of weeks, maybe like mid-November, late November, right? Something like that. Remember, it is a BTC dominance. It is not BTC USD. So it takes time to react. As you can see right here, we talk about it when the first week of September. And right now it is what? Late October. So over 6 weeks. Okay, so it's not going to take like 1 week for this entire trend to reverse. I mean, it could, anything can happen, right? But just to be realistic, right? not try to be a moon boy. So yeah, so let's see. Okay, let's see how the BTC bulls will react over the next like a few weeks and so on, right? 48% almost there. 50% probably next week we should get there. Okay, or no later than first week of November, right? So we should get there within the next like 2 weeks at the most. Do I know about Bitcoin Diamond? Oh man, btc.d. I know Bitcoin Diamond, man. I think it is still on Binance, right? Yeah, I know about Bitcoin Diamond. Who doesn't know Bitcoin Diamond? Yeah, it is likely to retest the lows right here. Bitcoin Diamond, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Cash. So you still gotta wait for a bit for your diamond to Hey, what's up? What's up, Jordan? Thanks a lot for tuning in. All right, so let me take a look at the chat room to see if you guys have any more questions, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at XRP finally, right? So XRP, it is moving. It is very boring right now. It is not moving as we needed it to do, right? So monthly, still looking good, guys. We just have to take out $2. Once again, guys, XRP on the macro scale, we've been spot on. Okay, that's why I don't rush to make a an XRP target, right? I don't rush to make an XRP target because it just moves like, it doesn't move like BTC, right? It moves against BTC, right? Meaning like if BTC pumps, it just stays on the sideline, right? So no need to be in rush. What we said right here, I was clear, guys. I was clear back in March. I was like, XRP will hit what, $2, right? XRP was just about like a 55 cents. I was like, as long as we close above 62, right? Especially on a weekly basis, right? We're basically going to take over. On a 3 weeks basis, right here, we broke out in 3 weeks, and I told you guys, $2, $1.95 to $2 going to be a strong resistance. We could not close above it back in 2017. Bang, bang, guys. So we retested our support right here. On a 3 weeks basis, we just have to take out the $2. That's it. Okay, and we will take a look at it over the next like a few weeks. Once we get a strong bull signal, right, we will take a look at it. We're most likely going to be breaking out above $2, and after that, you guys know what's the deal. Okay, you guys know we're still looking for $16 XRP, $13 XRP, right? Yes, I know you're gonna be like, man, we gotta break out above 360 first. But as I said, everything above $2 just going to be air. Okay, we're just gonna fly through. Bang. Okay, nothing. Okay, it is going to be zero resistance above $2. I said it regarding BTC when BTC was at 10.5. I was like, zero resistance above 10.5, and we're going to 30K, right? So just have to be very patient with the macro call, because these macro calls, especially on a monthly basis, they could take years, right? But it could take years, just like XRP. If you bought XRP back in 2018, it is still below all-time high. So it is almost like 4 years, guys, right? 4 years, and people are still holding and buying the dips. Any coin to 10x, I mean, most of these coins will 20x, okay, 30x. But we will talk about alt season. I just don't want to focus too much on alt season right now when it is not time to talk about it, right? It is not time to talk about alt season. It is time to basically just let the chart cool off, let BTC get the job done, right? And basically wait for alt to show some bullish signal. You see what I'm saying? Accumulate the dips. Yes, I don't want to be basically pumping these alt, like meaning like talking about these alt and they never pump. You see what I'm saying? When it's time to pump, we will talk about it, right? Otherwise, you might be, you might be like, oh man, I'm gonna buy this alt. It's gonna pump senseis. It's gonna 20x, and you're gonna be waiting for like a 2 month, 3 month, right? And most of you guys don't want to wait that long. But when it's alt season, whenever we talk about these coins, like let's say I see a beautiful pattern, right? We talk about it like Monday, maybe like in 2 weeks, it could break out. So I want to wait for alt season to start, like talking about alt season, right? They will break out, I know that, but it is not just time yet. Okay, we got to let BTC bulls, right, get the job done right now. That's the most important. And once again, I'm not saying to go ahead and dump all your alt. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? All I'm saying is just be patient, right? It's kind of like talking about BTC going to $1 million right now when we're not even yet at 100K. You see what I'm saying? So we know BTC will break out above 100K, but we don't want to be focusing too much about, like, let's say 500,000 and all that good stuff. It just doesn't make sense, right? So just have to wait for the next like a few weeks. Hey, what's up, Sugar in the house? Let's take a look at DOT for Sugar. Let's take a look at on the 3D. I like the 2D on DOT. So DOT, I think DOT most likely going to get the job done. We're already positive on our 2D time frame right here. So I would just stay with the trend. I know it is at nearly at all-time high, right? But we got 46 resistance next, and if we break out above it, bang. Okay, I would just stay with the trend as of now. Sell volume is pretty low. I know it could lose value versus BTC, but when we start the alt season, it could basically regain all that value, right? So we above the 3D 21. You could call for a bearish divergence right here, but we're not negative yet. So let's see, okay, if we're going to turn negative. So still looking good, right? On the macro view, we got our wave. We could say like 5 waves right here. This, we could count this as 5 waves right there, right? And that's our ABC correction right here. And we could be looking for another wave to the upside, right? We talked about $400 DOT back in, I think back in April, something like that, right? But it might be too early right now to talk about 400, right? Let's just focus on the next PIP extension going to be $79.80, which is like a 0.618, right? That's going to be the next PIP extension based on the wave 1. Okay, 60% of the wave, 60% of wave 1 going to be all the way up to $80. 80% extension going to be 130, 140, and 120 extension going to be all the way up to like a nearly $300. Okay, $280 to $300. These are macro targets, right? So it looks good right now. Bullish crossover right here on our 2D basis. Price action still looking pretty good above the 21 EMA. MACD is still positive, right? So let's just stay with the trend, okay? Till we cross negative, right? Once again, support definitely got to be right here. We already know the mid 20 is going to be support, okay? Just in case we get the double top right here, double bottom right there, and then blast off. All right, guys, I'm just going to call it a day. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Be safe out there. Market is pretty volatile. So just be safe out there. Alt season is not here yet. The BTC dominance is likely to keep on rising over the next like a few days. So just be cautious and accumulate alt on the downside, right? During the downtrend. And they will all pump over the next like a few weeks and so on, right? Or even like a few months, right? All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching.